Never would have made it. Never could have made it without you.
Seven. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
The woman giving this math lesson is more than a teacher. You might call her a caretaker of our future. She is Veronica Joyner, an educator who's decided that her assignment is taking care of our future. And she's supplying students with the basics and empowering parents to fight for better schools.
I'm very determined to do what I'm doing, and if it means that I have to work 12 to 15-hour days, then I will work 12 to 15 hours. And I'm not taking any money from anyone to say anything different. I have to do what's right, and that's exactly what I'm doing.
This Philadelphia-born and educated teacher is the founder of a Germantown-based group supported solely by parent donations. Joyner left her $40,000 a year job with the Philadelphia public school system frustrated. But she did not leave teaching, so she started pubs in 1983. She says she was disgusted with a system that turned out students who were not equipped with even the basic educational skills.
I was having trouble in my math. My teacher, she didn't take time out if you was having trouble. She just kept going on. And we came to Ms. Joyner's and she took time out with me and she worked with me on my math until I had everything right.
If it wasn't for Ms. Joyner, I know I wouldn't be where I am now. If it wasn't for Ms. Joyner, my grades would have still been E's, F's, D's, and C's.
Well, many say we face a crisis in the classroom.
I can't go to that school because it's dirty. I mean, they have teachers there, but they don't really want to teach the kids. They out for the paycheck.
I was categorized as being a rebellious student. A lot of my neighbors and people looked down on me and said because of the economic situation that my family was in, I would not amount to anything.
Money. You've got $1.2 billion to teach 190,000 kids. If you can't do it, get out.
This is Veronica Joyner. She is a parent and she's a school teacher. She's with Parent United. And Ms. Joyner says that money is not the answer.
No, it isn't. I taught in a public school for about 10 years, and I observed the reading program that's utilized in the public school system. It's the entire design, where we're not teaching reading through phonics, and we have a vowel in every word, and 85% of all words have short vowels. Many youngsters cannot sound their words out. I came through the Philadelphia School District, and I can read. What's the difference? We taught phonics. Today, we're teaching a method of sight and memorization. Youngsters cannot memorize words, so there's no way we can get around it. 2 out of 3 youngsters cannot read, and they're not going to learn how to read looking at the method we're using. If General Motors put through a design and each car that came out was not functioning properly, then we would have to go back to the drawing board and look at the design. The school district has to look at the approach to reading. Many inner-city youngsters are not allowed to bring home reading books. How can they ever learn to read if the approach is all wrong? And that's where the problem is, phonics. As I said, the things that are going on in the classrooms are appalling. As a teacher myself, I feel very committed and very dedicated to the profession. I am not downing teachers because I am a teacher. I respect it. I have the utmost respect for the teacher and the teaching profession. I feel that there are some white teachers that, again, are discriminating. They're closing the classroom doors, and no one is privy to what happens in that classroom other than the desegregation youngster. I feel that there should be some monitoring or some interviewing of many of the black youngsters in the school. Since these youngsters are in the classroom, I feel that we should use this as a vital piece of information. As a 7-year parent, my son or me have not been interviewed as to how do we think the program is working, or is it working, or is it not working? What do we see as some of the problems? That has not taken place.
You know, this story broke in early May by the Daily News. A guy named Geringer, what's going on here in Lowell School. And right away, Veronica Joyner jumped right on it, started researching it, got on top of it. I want to bring her forward right now. Veronica Joyner, president of Parents United for Better Schools.
Thank you. I started researching this, I guess, about 3-4 weeks ago, and I have just been appalled at what I found out. One is that I talked with a little kid, and that stuck with me. The little child, 3rd grade, said to me, Miss Joyner, the teacher sits us at different tables. I sit at a table with all black children. All right. And then there's another table, Miss Joyner, and it's all white and Asians. And I can't sit at that table. Even though I got A's and B's, I should be at the table, but I can't sit there. And he says he feels dumb. It makes him mad that he cannot sit at that table. So that motivated me to just keep calling parents. And as I spoke to the parents, I found the same kind of information, a pattern. My child entered, doing very well. And within that school year, my child had failed. Our children are at risk. What's happening here is that we are creating the next prison population. And those children will go into the prisons. They are now privatizing the prisons so that they can use us as slave labor. If our children are not educated, where are they going?
There was a serious problem in engineering and science where white kids got yellow buses and black kids had to read the SEPTA. I felt that to be very discriminatory, filed a complaint, stopped the busing in engineering and science. Now all children get the SEPTA bus. I feel that it was not appropriate for our children to watch other children getting bus service or getting special treatment. It just wasn't fair. So equity was put to rest, and we have equity within that school now.
There was a comment the other day in Jill Porter's column in the Philadelphia Daily News that said the Philadelphia school system with the sex education and with safe sex programs has been so preoccupied. They ought to be more preoccupied with something that the students are packing in their pants, guns.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and I feel that we're promoting safe sex, and we need to promote safe schools. How many people were approached or beat up by a group of kids or ever had a fight that made you afraid to go to school?
As a former Philadelphia teacher and now private tutor, Veronica Joyner says that instead of teaching students their ABCs, kids are learning survival of the fittest.
The school district is breeding those individuals that will go into the prisons.
What do you do to a kid who's a bully? Well, one of the things that we try to do right away when somebody is bullying is we'll call them in and talk with them, either in a counseling level, usually initially, and then we'll talk to them administrative level. But that is a serious problem. I think probably that perpetuates itself more at a middle school level than it does a high school level.
But it starts in elementary, and this is where it starts, with children playing in a schoolyard, and no one listening to the child if someone hits or threatens. And I've already read to my students the riot act. There will be no threats in my school.
The driving force behind pubs is Joyner. Her forceful approach may irritate school officials. In fact, she's taken the Philadelphia School District to court on several occasions.
Those children that come through the public school system will take jobs in this city. Now, whether those people are adequate to hold those jobs will be contingent on the public school system in Philadelphia.
How you doing? My name is Justin Wilson. I'll be finishing my medical education at Hahnemann University in the field of radiology, and basically I attended the pubs tutoring after school during the, I think it was like 92, 93, 94 time period. I attended there for math and one other course, can't remember right now, but say that the program was a big help to me, especially then. My grades were not that great, and it definitely helped me in those weak areas that I had, and I say that was important for me going on to college.
Justin Wilson is a doctor at Hahnemann University, and his parents came to me, hearing me on the radio, and they were trying to put him out of Central High School. Said his math and his science test scores were not high enough for him to remain in the school. So what I did was I worked with the science. I got Mr. James to work with the math. He brought his grades up, the A's and B's, graduated from Central. But the sad part about it, the support that they receive at our school will not be at that school.